Working so hard to achieve a particular goal without actually achieving it can be tiring and annoying. But then you have to learn that for you to achieve anything properly and efficiently, it has to do with the way you achieve it, the method you apply, the energy you apply, and the format you are using in order for you to achieve that goal. Yes, that is why we are talking about the difference between working hard and working smart. A lot of people work so hard to achieve their life goals, and yes, they do achieve it because their hard work pays. Yes, hard work pays. They do really achieve their life goals in most cases. But then maybe before they achieve that goal, they must have struggled so much, like a lot of energy must have been wasted, a lot of resources must have been burned out for you to actually get to that goal. But if you are applying the method of working smart, you can actually get to that your destinations more easily and more quicker. Think about a man digging a pit with his manual tools, shovels and digger, trying so hard to dig this pit to get to a certain depth that is needed for the work. And then another man using an excavator machine to dig the same pit. Both of them are definitely going to get to the same results, but the first man who is using shovel is going to take him more time and energy to get to the depth of the pit that they actually want to dig. But the other man with excavator will do that more easily. This is the kind of mindset you have to employ in your life for you to achieve your life goals more easily. When you want to do a particular thing, you already know the direct way to do it. That direct way to do it, not all the times, but most of the times, the direct way to do it is the hard way. Then begin to think about the easier way to do it to achieve the same result, or even a bigger or a more refined result, but for you to do it more faster and more easily. If you begin to think in that direction, you will definitely be able to figure out a smarter way to do it. Yes, when you talk about achieving a particular feat, some people go to the fairs trying to market their goods by themselves. They go about, try to convince people, try to make people to buy these goods, do discounts and a lot to put these goods in front of people in the market. Then some other people apply the method of referrals. Yes, you cannot compare the person who uses referral system in a good way to the person who is doing this marketing all by himself. The person that uses referrals will go out there, employ people or convince people, promise them commission, that they are going to earn commission when they sell this good. Then these people are going to go all out there working so hard to get buyers because of the commission. At the end of the day, the second man will convert more sales more than the first man with a very simple method without working so hard, because he have applied wisdom to solve his problem. Then some other people will pay radio stations or people that do adverts to put their goods in front of buyers. At the end of the day, you get to the same goals. But you can never compare a man who is working all by himself with a man who is surrounded with people that have the same mindset of the goal. So when you are doing whatsoever in your life, trying to achieve a particular goal, trying to conquer a particular task, begin to think of how to do it smartly. In your education, in your workplace, in your businesses, think of how to work smartly. Every area have different formats of work, but then you have to figure out this format yourself. The mindset of working smart, you really need that mindset of working smartly. It's going to give you a lot. The advantages of working smarter are abounds. There are so many. It's definitely going to give you more results, and you are going to do this job with less stress. The man who is into agriculture, doing all the plowing and harvesting all by himself, can never be the same with a man who have mechanized his farm. Yes, so in whatever that you are doing in your life, think of how to make it easier for you. Think of how to employ technology into it. Think of how to employ wisdom into it in order to work smarter. When you work smarter, you achieve more than someone that works harder. This seems to be a knowledge you're already aware of, but then it goes a long way. Awaken your spirit, awaken yourself. Application of all these methods of working smarter in your everyday life are one of the things that is going to form a building block for you to get to your destination fast and efficiently, and with a lot of energy locked in and reserved in you. You know, there is something about working smart. When you work smart, you apply more pressure to your brain, more pressure to your memory. You begin to force out methods of achieving this goal. You task your brain. Someone that is working smart task his or her brain. You task your brain. When you task your brain and your memory, your brain is going to provide you with an information who will hand you the success of your journey. But when you don't task your brain, you will use all your strength. You will suffer, you will grind to achieve this without actually achieving it the proper way, or maybe taking a longer time to achieve that. Yes, that is why it is good to always task your brain. Ask your brain questions. Ask yourself, how am I going to achieve this in a better way? Which format am I going to use to achieve this? Which method am I going to apply to get a greater result? Which pattern am I going to use to get to this place faster? When you prompt your brain to give you answers to these questions, you will definitely get answers. Then you now apply these answers. Someone that is working smart will always need to task his or her brain when you want to do anything. That is when improvise comes in. Someone that works smart most of the time does not have excuses of not doing what he wants to do. Because when you task your brain, how am I going to do this? Sometimes when the necessary tools are not available, you ask your brain, ask yourself, how am I going to achieve this without these two available? Your brain will give you an answer. Even if you are not able to get an answer, you can begin to ask questions. You can begin to make researches. Yes, because your mindset is going in the direction of working smart. But if it is only hard that you are working, you don't have any business with your brain. A man who is working hard does not have much business with the brain. The man is just careful and busy, following the already laid down principle and pattern of doing that particular thing. That is why he does not need to give the brain any command or any work. But a man who is working smart will always ask questions within himself. How am I going to do it better? How am I going to do it faster? How am I going to get to that destination quicker? How am I going to be more productive? If I'm achieving this under 5 days, how am I going to achieve more than this same result under same 5 days? That is the question of a man who wants to work smarter. And when this question is employed in your daily activities, in your daily routine, in your daily goals, then you are going to be getting to success every time. Success will become part of you because you are now employing the mindset of billionaires. You are now employing the mindset of the great ones. You are now walking the same journey with the great, and there you will get to someday. Thank you. I hope you learned something from this video. Have a lovely day.